Hey, what's going on, guys? And welcome to how to tailor a holistic lifestyle fit just for you. We just upgraded to the holistic portion. But today, we're going to be talking about um, what to do after a breakup. So, one thing about relationships is, I'm not even going to lie to you, they can be a little bit tricky. They can be a little bit tough after you went through the breakup part and actually you've realized that it's over. You come to the conclusion that it's like you're like, man, is what did I do wrong? You kind of go through the list. Okay, maybe I need to backtrack. Maybe I said something wrong. Maybe I talked about her mom. Maybe I maybe I did something that just sent us in this direction. And to be honest with you, um, there's nothing that you did wrong. Now it depends on the situation. I'm sure if you're in a relationship where it was some type of abuse, physical abuse or anything like that, that's a little bit different. Because in that situation, whether it's from a female or male, y'all both wrong. Y'all need to be able to communicate without throwing hands and getting violent with each other. But the main thing is really just like, what is the what causes a breakup? And most people don't really know what are the things that really causes that. The main thing that causes a breakup, honestly, is is really where are you both on, like, where are you at and where's this other person at when it comes to their journey in life. Most times people are just not quite sure of themselves. Now sometimes you might be in a relationship where you're used to dealing with certain types of people. Maybe people where it's like for some females it might be, dudes that's needy, um, that can't read or something, you know. Basically you're looking for that guy who's like uh, he has so much pride, but he's not smart enough to see you coming. So you can kind of, take advantage of him and see, you really take advantage of him and take advantage of who he is as a person so that you don't have to be alone. And most times with women, they struggle with being alone. And when they struggle with that, they're always in search of the guy who basically is needy so that basically they can, control him and they won't need him. They actually will need him and they can control him and that way they can't um get to a place where they're letting him go. And most times what happens is after a while, just like any man, he gets beaten down long enough emotionally or mentally. Um, eventually somebody's gonna say, hey, well, I can't do this anymore. This is not gonna work for me. I gotta move on. I gotta move on. Or he might have found some he might meet a girl, whether at a bar or a club or church or wherever he goes, and he might or at work. And most times he meets somebody and then that's it. He met her and he realizes that, man, I realize like I'm getting treated better by this girl than this girl. And so the guy is thinking to himself, man, maybe I should no, I can't be. Like maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just tripping. So then you go and you actually try to talk to your girl, hey babe, how you doing? You know what I mean? She'd be like, shut the F up, get out of my face, you know, your breath stink, you need to wash up, or you need to make some more money. um it's this dude down the street, he doing way better than you, and she's always putting him in your face. You need to be more like him. And the reason why women do that is because, again, they are afraid of being alone, and most times they're afraid of they need to control something because they don't really They haven't really taken that time to have control over themselves, so they decided, well, I'm going to control him, and that's not necessarily a healthy thing to do, but it happens. So for most times with dudes, they just get to a place where they're like, listen, I can't do this anymore. Um, or it's at a place where, let's say, for example, the playboys, um, they get into a relationship, um, and then they deal with the girl for a while, and then they realize it's not going to work, so they just leave. They have a time frame. They're more conscious of time, like how long it's been, how long I've been talking to her, um, whether she has if she has children, he knows that he can't stay around too long because eventually he'll start getting in the, stepdad mode, which is basically like, hey babe, can you go grocery shopping for me? Or hey babe, can you pick little Ron Ron up from the daycare? Or hey babe, can you basically, help me with the bills this month? So after a while, it stops becoming a relationship, and basically you just signed up to be a your babysitter, you know? And you what you get in exchange is sex, or what you get in exchange is her being around. And maybe she looked really good. So you just like, all right, I'll deal with it. But here's what happens. What happens is that the pros and cons of dude dealing with a woman with children and things like that is you're second. You're always second. So to all my fellas out there, if y'all listening to this, y'all are always second if you're in a relationship when it comes to a woman that has children. Okay? And don't listen to what she says because she's lying. Trust me, she lying. You second. Now what happens is that the reason why she gets with you is because she's at a place now where she's made, decisions, and she has to live with those consequences. And women don't really want to the way that they kind of learn, is the reason why, like, a lot of times, like, you might have heard it in one of the episodes where I was talking about body counts, but the way women learn is they learn through consequences, right? That's how they learn. They learn, like, unfortunately, if they don't have anybody kind of guiding them or have an example or have being taught or anything like that, if they're more like, hey, I'm gonna do what I want, live my life the way I want, then they reach this conclusion where they have to learn through consequences. So now that they have the child, not saying that they don't love them, but they're a constant reminder of when they were careless, reckless, and now they have to live with it. So in their minds, they're like, well, maybe I can get, meet a nice guy who actually be there for me. And it's not to say that the girl is not a nice girl. It's just to say that, you have to keep in mind, um, it's work. So sometimes those are the reasons why most people break up in when it comes to those situations, because it's a huge commitment. Um, and I want to just say this for women out there, like, um, this is gonna be a rough one, what I'm getting ready to say, but you ladies, please, please, like, stop playing the mind tricks. Like the mind tricks where it's like, oh yeah, this person's your son, this person's your daughter, this person's this person's that. They're not. In the eye of the law, they are not. Now, once they get, what happens is that, fellas, I'm telling y'all now, so y'all might be mad at me or feel some type of way, but hey, who cares? It's my podcast. Uh, you, um, for fellas, like, I'm gonna tell you this: when a woman tells you that, it's because she needs something, some type of way of leveraging you financially. And what she does is she used that as a way of controlling you. That's the only way that she can. So eventually you'll start to believe it. You'll notice that the kids will be nice to you because she wants them to. So she'll tell him, "Hey, go be nice to such and such." So now you all of a sudden, hey, call him, call him dad. Next thing you know, oh man, hey dad. And next thing you know, you're like, ah. But what you have to keep in mind is that that only works for men who don't know, who are really looking to belong somewhere. Okay. So ladies, if you're gonna be honest with guys, just be honest with them. Stop lying. Please stop lying, because it's not gonna work no more. Just stop lying. You need to tell the truth, and you need to be honest as far as like, listen, if he marries you and he makes a legal commitment to you, then then is the only time that you can start saying, hey, these are your children. And because legally, he's responsible for them. If anything ever happens, because y'all legally are married, legally you have the right to ask for support for those children, because he provided a certain lifestyle, right? But be honest with him. Let him know. Let him know the truth. Don't lie to him. Stop lying. Please stop lying. Now, I know I was watching this thing the other day about this girl said, women don't lie. They give you all the hints of who they are, and you just up to you whether you accept it or not. I'm going to be honest with you. That is extremely hard and unrealistic to say. When a woman is beautiful and she got a booty and big titties in your face and she smell good, it's going to change everything. Because now you're not thinking about whether she is, about her being honest, or about whether she's lying to you or not, because you're distracted. And now you're trying to play it cool long enough to focus on who she is as a person, so that you don't seem all desperate and stalkery. You know what I mean? I know it's not a word, but it is what it is. And so, women at the end of the day, they don't really have the, it's hard to read them. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying that it's hard for most men to read them, especially if they, they're vibing, they get a connection, the energy's flowing. That's a hard thing, because now you're going into it skeptical, and you're not open to if it's going to be something more, or if it can be something more. So, I would say at the end of the day, like, if you're going to look at a person, um, do women lie? No, they probably will show you, this is who I am, this is how I am. Um, I think what happens is that, people don't hurt us. Our expectations of them hurt us. And that's what happens. But it's really just because we frame this idea of who a woman is in our mind. And then when we deal with her in reality, she's nowhere near that, because, you know, we wind up putting women on pedestals as men, because we fantasize about them a lot. And then we wind up like getting feelings and falling in love internally. But if you actually look at her life and how her life is, it will help you to see the truth of who she is. Don't look at her, and don't listen to her either. Like, don't listen like, "Oh yeah, I'm great, I'm good." No, don't do that. Look at her life. If you go to her house and her house is nasty, or you go and she dressed fly, but when you go over her house, clothes is all over the place, you know, she doesn't really do too well when it comes to hygiene. Look at her life. Ask her, does she have friends around her? Do her friends really like her? Does her family like her? Right? Just look at her life. And once you do that, um, you won't feel the nostalgia no more. You'll just realize this is a lot of work. And it's really a matter of whether she's worth it to you or not. Now, everybody, what someone values is different for everyone based upon their experiences and what they went through. But again, you have to keep in mind, like, is this really going to be for you and does it work? Um, but to be honest with you guys, when it comes down to breakups, when it comes down to relationships, most relationships end because people are not honest, not only with themselves, but not honest with the person that they're with. And a lot of times, sometimes you might be in a relationship where, you know, if a girl says you're not her type, this is really what it means. You're not getting sex for free. That's all it means. Now I know somebody might say, "Oh my God, I can't believe he said that. Who he think he is?" Okay, I got you. But the truth is, you're not getting sex for free. Now, there's some dude named, Daryl, Rodney, some, some dude that will get the sex for free. You won't. You are going to have to pay for it. Now, why do you have to pay for it? Well, because here's the reason. The reason why you have to pay when it comes down to women is because they understand that they are getting ready. They're getting ready to actually like try. In their minds, it makes sense. Does it make sense? No. But in their minds, it does because they're getting ready to try. So when I'm getting ready to try with you, look, you gotta give me a reason why I'm not gonna be, out here um being promiscuous and, you know, being open and just, enjoying my life, right? And so again, what happens is that, they're looking for a person who's gonna provide for them. They know the dudes who ain't, and unfortunately most of those guys either aren't going anywhere with their lives, whether that's financially or whether that's just in general, where they're looking to create some type of stability. And they know it. And so, for those dudes, they're kind of like the entertainment. They're the entertainment. They're the dudes who's just like, oh my God, I can't believe he did me like that, or oh, I was on this trip and I met this dude. That's most times with women, they're really telling you all these things because everything's a story for them, right? Everything's a story. So, it's really about if you're gonna try to find somebody who's actually good for you, you need to really, I always say this to fellas, be where you need to be in your life. Don't wait around for women. Don't wait around, don't look for them, don't worry about it. Be where you want to be at in your life. And I'm gonna tell you, like, she'll be drawn to you. She'll come right to you. You understand what I'm saying? You don't gotta chase her. She'll start inboxing you. She'll start messaging you. She'll make it easy for you. You shouldn't have to work. Like if you're working to get a girl, that means that you're not working on yourself. That means your value is still low. Don't worry about it. Focus on yourself. You know. But what I will say is that at the end of the day, when you go through a breakup, and here's my advice, you know, don't jump into another relationship. You gonna want to so bad. You gonna be like, yo, or you gonna meet some girl, you gonna be like, all right, I'll give it a try. Don't do it. The reason why it ended was because you needed more time to grow. Okay? That's the only reason why it ended. And most times when things end, it's because you got the most that you were gonna get out of it. You understand what I'm saying? That's the most that you were gonna get out of the relationship. No matter whether you were a woman or a man, that's the most you're gonna get out of like, when it ends, that was the most you were gonna get out of that person. Because most people just can't, they just doing the best that they can. They're just doing the best that they can, you know? And so I think what you have to realize is, like, realize your limitations. You'll realize what type of person you can handle and what you can't, right? You might meet a girl where she likes to argue in public, and you realize this ain't for me. I need somebody who actually has some sanity to them, where I can, like, actually, we if we're getting into a spat or something like that, or I have to express my feelings, we can do that behind the scenes. And that way we're not embarrassing each other. Um but if relationships end, it's okay. It's okay. Just keep in mind that it's not your fault, it's not the person's fault, unless it's like, the person, and this is a really tough one. If the person cheated, even in those cases, we know our part where we participated in that. Unless because either if she's cheating on you, you probably got with her because that was the best that she was offering you, was sex. And so she's cheating on you because she's using that same thing and offering to the next person, right? So, it's true that women really don't lie. Um, Unfortunately, it kind of puts you in a skeptical, pessimistic mindset, but they really don't lie. If you really look at them for how they dress, for how they carry themselves, for how they look, you know what type of woman you're dealing with. And a lot of times for people, like, for women, they're like, "Oh, well, you shouldn't judge them or whatever." But the truth is that, women will send you on an emotional roller coaster. And they know they do. They know they do. They know they will, and that's just what it is, right? But because they will send you on that emotional roller coaster, it's very important that you know where you want to be at in your life. It's very important that you know if she's going in your direction, if she has your same belief system and values. If she doesn't have those things, let her go. She probably, she belongs to somebody else, you know, um, or how the saying goes, she belongs to the streets. I think for some people, it's just that you have to accept where you want to be at in your life, and don't chase her. Don't chase nobody. Let them come to you. Anything that's for you has something to offer you, right? It'll have something that you'll need, so it'll come to you. But anything that you gotta chase it. It's going to take something from you, and what it's going to take from you is going to take you uh really years, months, years. It'll take a long time to get it back, and when you get it back, it's not the same. So the best thing to do, like I say, if you go through a breakup, um another one of the things I will say is healing is important. Don't jump into another relationship. Healing is important. Start meditating. When I went through a breakup, I went to a mantra lounge, and you know, I had to get my Angela Bassett on, my Nam Yo Ho Renge Kyo. I had to get that on because I was at a place where I was doubting myself, my value, me as a person. What did I have to offer? Was I even a good man anymore? These relationships will send you through that, especially if you're with a person that you love. It will send you through that because you can't process why it's ending, but you know it's ending. And so I had to heal. I had to take that time to heal because I knew if I jumped into another relationship, I probably was just gonna hurt somebody else. And most time, even after the relationship, I tried to deal with other people, and I knew that if the relationship was ending, it was really because I wasn't where I needed to be at in my life. Had nothing to do with them. They were great women, but had more to do with I wasn't where I needed to be. And everything, if you're not where you need to be at in your life, or where you want to be, I should say, where you need and want to be, if you're not there, you're going to hurt a lot of people. you're just gonna hurt a lot of people along the way. And um, what I will say is just take that time, heal. Let things be drawn to you. Um, and it'll happen. It'll happen naturally. But make sure that I always say this: whatever you believe in, whether it's religious or spiritual, make sure you have some sense of a thing that's a higher being to your higher purpose. Find your purpose, because a lot of times we make people our purpose in relationships, and they're really not. They're not our purpose. Like I know what women say all the time. I wish my husband just put me first. I wish my man put me first. He don't need to put you first. He really need to put God first. He really does. Because the truth is that if he doesn't love himself, or if he's not constantly receiving love from something higher than you, he won't be able to love you. And loving you requires patience, understanding, forgiveness, being mild tempered, right? It requires all those things. And the only way you're going to learn those things is through God. The only way you're going to be reminded of those things is through God. And, I know for some people, they might not believe in that, and that's fine, you know. But whatever you do believe in, just always keep in mind that your purpose is what you should focus on. I'm going to say this and then, we're going to wrap up. But, you know, Kevin Costner. Kevin Costner recently just went through a divorce, or he's going through a divorce, right? His wife was asking him to leave Yellowstone. Babe, leave Yellowstone. Now, Yellowstone is my show, so I don't know if anybody y'all watched that joint, but that joint's hot. But, she was like, babe, leave Yellowstone, leave Yellowstone. And he was like, nah, I don't want to. I don't know how the conversation go. I'm just ad-libbing here. I don't know. I don't want to. You know what I mean? I like riding horses and, milking cows on the side and, acting with everybody. It's cool. It's a great show. You understand what I'm saying? We get to drink coffee in the morning and it's great. I love it. Babe, leave the show, leave the show. So he finally leaves the show. And, he finds out that basically she's been sleeping with she's been sleeping with the pool boy. Right? And she leaves him. What's my point with that? My point is this. Um, Stay on your purpose. For men, stay on your purpose. For women, y'all, women need to understand what commitment really means. Because men are simple. Women are emotionally complex individuals. But men are simple. So for women, I will say that, when you enter into a relationship, do this. Ask yourself, what do you want out of this? Don't do it because you be like, oh, he cute. Oh, yeah, he look good. Yeah, that's why I like. Yeah, he got money. He's stacking. No, forget all that. What are you going to do in this relationship? What's the point? You understand what I'm saying? What's the point? What are because it's like, if you're not going to elevate being with this person, you're wasting your time. And if you don't want to elevate with being with a certain person, you're wasting your time. And men, if you can't elevate the women, don't be surprised if she's looking somewhere else. If you can't take the time and love her and care for her and listen to her, even if you don't understand what she's saying, it's cool because sometimes that happens. You just be like, yo, what is she talking about? It's okay. Just shut up and listen, and then you'll be good. But all in all, I think after a breakup, um, take the time, heal. Don't jump back into a relationship because it just ain't gonna be good for you. You're gonna hurt somebody, you're gonna wind up hurting yourself. It's just a whole process. You might be, for the streets for a while, you know what I mean, slinging in left and right, you know. And at the end of the day, you're gonna lose yourself, because when you allow people into your soul, they take a piece of it with them. So just keep that in mind. I hope y'all guys enjoyed this. This is, how to tell a holistic lifestyle fit just for you. Again, we just recently updated to add the holistic part for my people out there who are on the holistic side of life and looking to actually better themselves. In this episode, I'm going to be in the notes. I'm going to be leaving a link for you guys if you're looking to get some help. We recently just went through a breakup and you need some help with this type of stuff. Again, I do coaching in regards to this, so I'll be able to help you guys out with that. And I'll leave a little form for you to fill out, and then we'll set up a free strategy session with you. So see if you're interested and see if we're a good fit to work together. Okay. Again, I appreciate you guys. Appreciate all the support, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.